Welcome back to the Making Sense Conversations podcast. I'm Waceke Nduati. And more importantly, welcome to this journey that we're about to go on this series called Diary of a Mad African Entrepreneur. I've been in business for 15 years and I want to tell my story. I want to tell the Centonomy story. And as I've been thinking about it, I've been also talking to a lot of entrepreneurs about the story. And the truth is, what you see about entrepreneurship, what you've seen about my business, what you've seen about other people's business is great. But there's so much that goes on behind the curtains, behind the scenes, beneath the surface. And at the end of the day, what is going on with the human being that is the entrepreneur, the human being that is running this business. And a lot of the times we don't talk about it. And there's so much information out there on investors, how to get investors, your business plan, the marketing. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of courses and they're all good. It's good to go for those things. But I think less is being told of what actually happens, as we like to say in Kenya, on the ground floor, what is actually going on. And I've been writing journals all my life. And ever since I started entrepreneurship, I have written tons and tons of journals. And I want to go back into the journals because it's in the journals that I poured out what was truly going on. When I faced a KRA audit, what was going on with me? When I had to get this client, what was going on? When employees came into the business, what was going on? When they left, how did I actually feel? When I failed, when I succeeded, how did all this feel to the human being? Because entrepreneurship is a lonely journey because you feel that you have to be, and I felt this way, especially when I started business, because everybody was talking about what they've done. So I felt everybody is achieving, everybody is focused, everybody is fearless, everybody is determined, everybody is full of passion every day. And so imagine when I couldn't get out of bed in the morning, I thought there was something wrong with me. Imagine when I found I burnt out, I thought there was something wrong with me. Imagine when I felt confused, I thought there was something wrong with me for not knowing. So now, 15 years later, I realized that's entrepreneurship. And the human being, the entrepreneur, is not just, that's not all they do. They've got life. They've got family issues going on. They've got marriages going on. They've got children going on. They've got their own sense of what is my purpose here on earth going on. They still want to go on holiday. So all this comes together. They're still dealing with so much, and then there's a business to run. There are women who are running businesses, and because of all the other roles women play and all the expectations society has of women, how does all that human being called a woman entrepreneur, what is she actually facing? The people who've told me, good friends have told me, my marriage didn't work out because, and this business affected my marriage, and this is how it affected my marriage. And so if all these human things, as if you're running this business and all these human things they're happening to you, please know that you're normal. And last week I was graduating our entrepreneurship class and I was asking them, what do the society expect you to have? And people said success. They expect us to have money. They expect us to know what to do all the time. They expect us to be the problem solvers. And we just had a very honest conversation of how we cannot be all these things all the time. So it's time to get human about this entrepreneurship journey. And that is why I'm calling it a diary. Because when I wrote my diary, I was human. I was pouring out what Waceke felt. I was not pouring out what Centonomy needed. I was pouring out what Waceke felt. And even the things that I managed to do, even the things that other entrepreneurs managed to do, which you must take inspiration from by all means. What did the human being where did the human being had to rise up to get there? What kind of frequency did that human being have to operate on? And I'm calling it madness because it is not structured. It is not the same for everybody. It is not routine. And trust me, there are some things we do as entrepreneurs that are sheer madness. People ask, what does it take to make business work? Sheer madness. You've got to have a touch of crazy. There's no other way to talk about it. I know people keep saying resilience, grit, patience, passion, purpose. That's fantastic. But there's just got to be a little bit of crazy in you. And I want to talk about the craziness. And it's an African story because we sometimes accept Western philosophy or Western ways or celebrate Western businesses. But our context is very different. People in the West don't have to do business while Mandamano is going on, for example. So our context is very different. And what makes us get through it in our environment is also very different. And to celebrate also the successes, because also what success means to us is very different. And success comes in so many different ways and forms in an African business. It's not just the checklist that has been put out for us as to what success is. So join me as I bear it all in Diary of a Mad Entrepreneur. I want to leave, if God was to say you have 7 days to live, what I want to leave is I left the story in whatever form I could leave it in. And I won't be alone. Sometimes you'll just hear my voice raw, speaking. I've read my diary. I've woken up, pajamas, sit in front of the mic and just talk to you like I'm talking to you today. And other times I'll be with a guest and we may record it. It just may be sound. It may be on video, as long as it comes out authentically. So I'm more interested in not the visuals, not the optics, but can the story come out? And it's people who are willing to say, this is what my human experience in running this business is. So every Tuesday, I can't tell you whether there's going to be 10 episodes or 100 episodes. We're just going to go with the flow because there's so much to talk about. And this is just an intro, but it's already in my head. Oh, next I want to talk about this. Next I want to talk about this. So please, 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 please join us. Subscribe to the podcast, Making Sense Conversations. And let's get this story started. Let's get this journey started. And along the way, if you feel you have a story to tell, please write to me and tell me. So excited to be here. And see you next time.